Hi everybody, good morning. My name is Pat Phelan, excuse me, and this is Chris Kennedy, and we're the founders of Trustev. Trustev is a real-time online identity verification platform. We're European Union Startup of the Year, and we built the platform using multiple dynamic data sources to eliminate e-commerce fraud. And what we found was in existence already was very tight base rules treating large groups of people exactly the same. So our platform looks at every transaction in real time. E-commerce fraud right now is about $20 billion a year, but refused genuine orders far outweigh it. One of the largest global payment platforms had over $25.1 billion of genuine orders rejected by its merchants because it flagged those orders and the merchants weren't willing to take risk. We eliminate this. What we also do is we reduce manual review. So where there's a huge human cost right now with 27% of all online orders being reviewed, 200 million man days in 2012, we reduced that by over 80%. We work with over 100 e-commerce merchants across mobile gambling, crowdfunding, traditional e-commerce. And today we'd like to talk to you about one of the products that are using our API, and that's called Trustev Retail Decisions. And this was born out of a huge need by some of our customers. And the problem they were having, they're in the mobile space and in the banking space, and someone comes into a store, they look to create a new mobile account, they bring proof of ID and they bring proof of address. And the guy behind the counter who's working as a store clerk is expected to be a document checker. They're paying him $8 an hour and he's a document checker. So there's a huge amount of fraud in this space. One of the larger UK carriers who we're working with had £300,000 of device fraud in December. And generally what happens, they get a high-end smartphone, usually an iPhone, a 12-month contract. They walk out the door. The iPhone ends up in either Russia or Asia. The SIM card is kept in London, and it's usually runs up a spend of about £1,000 in month one. The first bill is issued, and there's no one there to accept the bill. So I'd like to hand you over to Chris now, and Chris will demonstrate Trustev Retail Decisions. So Chris is logging in here as the store clerk. So what happens, guy walks into the store, and before it was, 10 lots of forms in triplicate, check ID, check verify address. So right now the customer walks in, store clerk logs into the tablet, the clerk decides what type of a customer he is. Is he a new customer? Is he an existing customer? Or is he a customer swapping a SIM? We're seeing lots of people SIM swapping in fake names. Carry on. So we've clicked proceed. The customer now has the device in his hand. He types his name, address, his date of birth, his email address, and he types his mobile phone number. Immediately here, we're pinging the email address to verify it. We're checking has it been used in social? How long is it in existence? Is it a catch-all? What we're also doing is, our background is mobile. We're actually doing HLR, VLR lookup, or we're doing SS7 signaling to confirm that the mobile phone is actually in the same location as the tablet. So Chris proceeds. He's asked to sign in with Facebook. We're using Facebook for this demo. Right now we can use Tencent, Weibo, Orkut, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we're pulling all that identity information out of each of those social networks. So Chris is signing in right here. We're now looking at Facebook. And what we do with Facebook is we use about 80 algorithms across Facebook. As I mentioned, date of birth earlier. There's a very close algorithmic relationship between your date of birth and Facebook and your friend's date of birth. So we verify your date of birth. We look at your pictures, where you've been tagged, those locations of taggings, where friends have tagged you, and we establish a day parameter and a night parameter for your address. We tie that into the store location, and we tie that into your mobile location. So now we're confirming, you know, for example, why would a guy from Ireland want to buy a phone in London? Or why would a guy from Dundee want to buy a phone in Manchester? We give a score back to the clerk. The device is handed back to him. He has to re-log in so that the customer doesn't see the score here. And as you can see, Chris failed, which we expected because we have this built for a UK customer at the moment. What we've also done is we've passed, failed or flagged this. If we flagged it, it goes through traditional channels. So we're eliminating this customer review at a later stage. We're putting much more customers through the mobile channel. The store clerk now has a picture to confirm identity. It's growing very quickly for us. As I said, this is just a product off our API right now. Right now, there's 2 global mobile customers live. We're working in banking, we're working in payday loans, all around identity. So if you'd like to really protect your online e-commerce, if you'd like to protect your retail store decisions where there's a contract involved, we're outside on the right-hand side. Please come talk to us. Thank you.